Hey beautifuls. I like these couch sessions, and I've had like this really big shift and oh my gosh, so much to share, because let me unplug. Like what's going on here? Hang on a second. Let me sort this out, because so I had clients in here yesterday, so we had to move everything around. All right, perfect. No, it's not perfect. Oh, this one. There we go. Yes, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. But it's good to feel good. It's good to feel good. I've got important announcements to make as well, and I forgot to put that on the title of this live stream. So there's important announcements to come as well. Let me share this, because there is like, I'm like, with all this information that's like streaming through. Okay, the energy is so crazy. Okay, maybe I'm like on this vibe because I can feel this flow. And this is like so significant, like alongside what's happening in the world at the moment. All right, let me share this, because I get carried away and I've got so many things on my mind that I want to talk about and blah, 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 blah. Let me share this first, as always. Because I just want to talk. I'm curious, do you guys feel the energy as well? Do you feel the energy? Of course you do, because that's why you're here at Reality Awareness. As empaths and psychics and intuitives and beautiful people who are just humans, and we damn well feel, and we're told not to, and it's not normal, but actually it's really normal. It's called your heart, and it's called being human, and all the things. And all the things. Okay. Nearly there. One more place to share. Nearly there. One more place to share. Perfect. Okay, now just bring the comments up here, and we shall get properly started. People are annoying you today. We need to fuck them right off and go and do something for yourself. In my opinion. Go and take some space. It's okay to take space, as long as you need. Very stressed. It sounds like a lot of you need to just fuck the world off and go and take some time out. That's what I would do. Push everything aside and don't come back until you feel better. That's what you do. Yeah? So let's talk about that a bit as well. Okay. So let's talk about that a bit. So important. So important. Okay. Yeah, Leonie's feeling buzzy, happy today. Yeah. Yes, love that. I find it so amazing. Like, people are still asking me about my arms. So on the 7th of December, like months ago, I was mauled by 2 dogs. So it's broken hands, all this stuff. It's taking a long time to heal. Energy is crazy. And I call it this beautiful like flow. And sometimes we feel stressed. Sometimes it's like, it feels like we're in a vice. Sometimes it feels like we're just like, yeah, okay, this tripod's, hang on a sec. Or maybe if I just bring this down a little bit more, because yeah, that's better. I had to like move everything yesterday. I just with my clients. Okay, perfect. Yes, let's get a close up on my face. And now I'm just gonna get comfortable on my couch. On my couch. Alright, yeah, I just gave you a kiss. Gave you a kiss. Alright. Yay, you talk to mom. Oh, good. Yes, awesome. How amazing is communication, right? Communication solves everything, but a lot of people don't know how to communicate, right? Communicating our needs, communicating what's right for us, communicating what we need in a relationship. Like, everything is a relationship, and everything is understanding the needs of what we need in a relationship and the other person's needs, etc. Can you imagine our new earth, like what we do? Because we know that innately, but as a society, we're taught to not communicate, to not feel, to not do any of that. right? So, and that's why so many of, this is the thing. As a healer, people come to me with something wrong with them or something wrong going on in their life. Like, that's what it is, right? It's why you come to a healer. It's why you do whatever, right? Whether it's in your business, your career, your life, your love life, your financial situation, whatever it is. Like, we heal everything. And everything is interconnected, right? Underneath, the biggest piece is about communication. Communication and understanding needs. Plain and simple, right? Under every, every issue is just an unmet need. And when we meet that need, everything is solved. But how we get there and how we trust that and how we listen, interpret, understand, that's where I come in. That's where understanding our intuition, that's where understanding energy, that's where understanding all of that, right? Okay, I know my arm, right? Do I like David Icke? I haven't really listened to his stuff. I know he's shared a lot of awesome awakening, let's say, awakening consciousness stuff, let's say. Definitely, but I haven't actually sat there and listened to any of his stuff, so. All right, the reason that I've come on, this is so important. I have a really important announcement, actually a few of them, and I'm actually really excited about it. Like, the past little while I've been going through a big recalibration, and then I jumped off a call with a mentor this morning, and everything shifted. And I guess that's what mentors are for, right? And the funny thing is I was telling myself something, and I knew, right? Because we always know, but sometimes our mentor always just unlocks the key, gives us permission, and actually says, no, it's actually this thing. Now, she didn't do that directly, but listening to her and everything we spoke about, it was just like, it took me a little bit. I got off the call and I was just like recalibrating, and I'm like, there it is. I was like, there it is. There it is. And the funny thing is, as I was telling myself it was okay not to do that, when actually that was really making me depressed. By not doing it, I was like, I get the idea. It's like, no. And then it's like, no, actually. Oh my goodness. So the biggest thing that I want to share, because what did I call this? Oh yeah, I've been sucked in. Is that what I call this live stream? Hang on, let me just check. I got sucked in, and it's time to unplug. This world stuff is in the forefront of a lot of people's view at the moment. Ukraine, Australia. Oh, by the way, Australia is like having its biggest flood in history, but no one in the fucking world knows about it, but everyone knows about Ukraine and Russia. Don't get me started. Like, that's just the media, right? And this is the thing. Look, I'm getting sucked in again. This is what I don't want to do anymore. This is what's been like pulling me in and sucking me in and getting me depressed. Now, I find it funny, a lot of people come to my page and they're like, oh, do you know about HARP and the world order and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, did you only just come across my page because I've been in this industry since 2005? I'm like, maybe you better follow me for a bit before you have these assumptions and judgments. And maybe you better like take that bit of advice and apply that to every area of your life and watch your world shift, right? I get so fucking tired about getting pulled into the world stuff. And it's so easy to do, especially as like an empath, right? And having all of these like pieces of like, it's like, the reality is that we get pulled off our purpose when we get pulled into the world stuff. I'm guilty of it. It's not the first time it's happened. Like, it's kind of normal because we need to know what's going on, and then we also pull ourselves back out and get the fuck on with our purpose. Now, I think it was 2020, transcendence came through so strongly. And transcendence is about unplugging from all of that stuff, unplugging from the dark mother, unplugging from, that system, basically. And every 9 months in the birthing cycle, I've been running transcendence. Now, about a week and a half ago, I was like, oh, transcendence. Now, this is different to Transcendence Reality Society. So you guys heard me talk about Transcendence Reality Society. That's my monthly membership. It's the inner circle. If you're in there, you get access to everything that I release and we do, and, any course and that sort of thing, right? So Transcendence Reality Society is the monthly membership, it's the inner circle. Transcendence on its own is a 6-week course that we do I release it every 9 months. And we go through this 6-week course. This is like 6 weeks of like pulling yourself out of all the stuff, all the world stuff, all the AI stuff, to not have that energetic like fear activation in your system anymore, because that's exactly what the world stuff is doing. Now, you know, like a lot of the world stuff, like it's real, it's happening, right? However, we are more controlled and sucked in because we're like glued to it. And it's detrimental to our health, it's detrimental to our well-being, it's detrimental to our life purpose. And we get pulled off. So, I got the message this morning to run Transcendence. And it's funny because I was like, you know, like 10 days ago, I was like, yeah, but I'm not really feeling it. It's like, yeah, I said I was going to do it every 9 months, but I'm not. And then like this morning after all these activations and everything just like pulled through and pulled through and pulled through, and I was just like, whew, there it is. So not just Transcendence, right? So we start Transcendence on the 8th of April. So I'm just going to drop the link in the comments because it is in the title of this live stream as well. So you can have a look over that page. So like I said, it's a 6-week course. This is like unplugging from the world stuff, unplugging from the dark mother grid, which is really like sucking everybody in. Like it's the old system grid, right? So this takes us through unplugging and then plugging into the crystal spiral, plugging into the higher self, plugging into your life purpose. Because right now, how we fix the world situation when you're not right there down on the ground with it is by focusing on your life purpose. But a lot of people are like, I don't know what my life purpose is. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to start. I don't know. And it's like we start by unplugging from all of the world stuff, unplugging from all of that dark stuff. So just popping the link in the comments now. And I just put it in as, oh no, I did it as that. That's interesting. Okay. So just pin that to the top. Now, if you're in Transcendence Reality Society, you get access to that. Now, the other important announcement is, right now, Transcendence Reality Society is open. It's my membership. I was speaking about it yesterday. I've been speaking about it all week. It's $49 a month. On Wednesday, Thursday next week, wherever I said it, that price increases to $1,111. From $49 to $1,111. Then the doors are open for another week and then they close. Transcendence Reality Society is where you get access to every course, every meditation that I release. You get access to the full moon ceremony. There's trainings in there. You get access to the advanced chakra trainings and the psychic development workshops. This is like the shift. When I say like I got sucked in and it's time to unplug, I'm not just talking about Transcendence. I'm not talking about Transcendence Reality Society. For me, I got sucked into like thinking and letting other people's opinions of me hold me down, hold me back. And it has been like, I want to say it's been what's been keeping me stuck. Like that's like a no-brainer, right? That's like a no-brainer. I was like, of course it's going to keep you stuck. But the reality of that shift is that this coming in to me, that I've been the only one holding me back. And this is what like happened on the call with my mentor this morning. I was like, the things that she told, like she was saying, I already had the automatic response. Like it was like straight away she said, and I'm like, yeah, but, and I had all my reasons to stay in the position, right? And then after the call, I was like, nah, Hannah, like, you know, and it lit me up and my fire is back. And I was like, oh my God, there it is. So Transcendence Reality Society, price is going up very quickly. So only a few more days to get in at $49. And then it increases to $1,111. It's open for a week and then the doors close. On the 8th of April, we are starting a 6 weeks journey of transcendence. We're unplugging from that dark mother grid. We're unplugging from AI. We're unplugging from the new world order. We're unplugging so that we don't have those energetic, visceral like reactions and stay triggered in the fear. Instead, we can actually embody that light and work with that light and heighten that light and be in that light without being pulled back down into that dark mother grid, without being pulled back into that satanic grid, without being pulled back into that. We actually release ourselves from the dark mother grid, the satanic grid, but we're activating the true source code. So awesome. It's so freaking awesome. So awesome. All right. So the other really important thing. Oh, so hang on a sec. Someone said here, Wendy said, I've been saying to myself the last couple of days, it's time to switch off and unplug. Didn't use Facebook for 10 years and time to leave again. Don't watch MSN and not following the war. So I see, I mean, you do need to do what you do. Don't listen to me right now, right? If it doesn't resonate. But I see so many people like jump off Facebook, come back on, jump back on. And I've noticed people, and I've like always wondered about that. And I was like, oh, it's just about having stronger boundaries with Facebook. You know, if you're in that space, like, because Facebook for me is like where I connect with you guys. But I unfollow and unfriend and remove myself from anything. Like, you can adjust your feed to see what you want to see in your feed, right? You can go to people's page. You can say see first on the notifications. You can be in really inspiring groups. You can grow your life, change your life, and only see the group comments first. Right? So it's really about tailoring Facebook to your needs, because I understand why people want to get off it, but then it's also having boundaries with it as well, like how much you use it, when you're using it, and all those pieces, yeah? So like turning notifications off, like, you know, making sure that, you know, you're only using it, you know, like if you're struggling and you need boundaries, like, you know, just do it for an hour a day and get off, or watch a training and get off, you know what I mean? So, but some people just need to remove themselves, and you need to trust yourself with that too. So Mel says, how long does the $49 a month last for? As in, how many months do you pay that for? You pay $49 a month for as long as you want to stay in there. If you leave after you've joined, the only thing with that is that you just, if you want to come back in, you come back in on the price that it's increased to, which will be $1,111. So if you stay on $49 a month, you'll be on there as long as you know, stay on it. Price doesn't increase for you if you get in on $49 a month. But if you leave and come back, then it's the increased price. Does that make sense? So yes. How many calls do I get with that? Is that with Transcendence or Transcendence Reality Society? Because all those details are on the pages as well. Okay, the other really important thing is that I've been going through, obviously, this huge recalibration, but I also change things all the fucking time. Why? Because I grow and evolve and I change. Who I was 5 years ago in my business, who I was 5 years online, 5 years ago online, who I am now, and who I am becoming, and what I've got planned and where I'm going. I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited. So I have changed the way that I work with people, hence what I'm doing with Transcendence Reality Society. We've got the membership. I don't do one-off psychic readings anymore. You've got Tuesday Tarot that you can get a psychic reading. But if you do want to work with me, there's reality reconfiguration. Now, this is a container that I work with people. There's 2 containers that you work with me one-on-one. One is a 30-day intensive, so 30-day reality reconfiguration. And then the other is a 6 or 12-month program. So with the reality reconfiguration, it's 30 days. You get unlimited voice message, unlimited text message via Telegram or WhatsApp. I prefer Telegram. And if, depending on, so these are like tailored as well, because some people prefer phone calls, some people just prefer text and voice message, right? And I'm with reality reconfiguration, I was sitting with it for ages because I was like, oh, something's not right with it. And something's not right with the way that I am offering what I do working with people. I had to, it's taken like weeks. And again, this morning, after that activating call this morning, it was like, woof, there it is. This is what we have mentors for, because they bring us into alignment of our truth. They help reflect what we already know and help us embody the next level. They give us clarity and the trust and the truth and the confidence to be able to implement that. Like, this is the thing about putting the you know, like where you're being called with your energy. And for me, that was like trust your intuition, the Transcendence Reality Society. And I knew it's working with clients, but that hadn't quite dropped in yet. So reality reconfiguration, there's two options. Like I said, reality reconfiguration or the life purpose accelerator. That's like everything. That's the highest level you can work with me. So reality reconfiguration is 30 days or 6 months, and life purpose accelerator is the 12 months. So reality reconfiguration is where you really get to understand, feel, and have an experience of what that's like working with me, especially if you're new to this space. So reality reconfiguration, there's like an increasing tier price structure happening right now. So reality reconfiguration is the 30 days one-on-one with me. You either get phone calls and the voice message, text message, unlimited support, unlimited psychic readings, or you don't have to do the phone calls. Some people really enjoy them, some people don't. So, and I'm easy. So, you know, I'm more intuitive around like what's going to work best for you, because that's what we need to work with. So the reality reconfiguration, the 30 days working one-on-one with me is $2,222. There is only 2 spaces at that price. Then when those 2 go, it increases to $4,444. There is only 3 spaces at that price. And then it increases to $5,555, because for me, it's all about the numbers. Numbers are important. So then it will sit at $5,555. That's to work with me one-on-one. If you want to work in Life Purpose Accelerator, where you get everything, so you get access to all my courses, like that's the inner circle, but you're also working with me as well. There's 12 months with that. That's different. Send me a message if you like the details for that. The reality reconfiguration, there is a 6-month option as well. So this has lit me up. And like finally it is dropped in. Now once I got the couch, my beautiful couch sessions, and set up and change this room, redid my office, I'm also waiting for the Trust and Intuition training manuals to arrive. They're printed. It's been delayed because of all sorts of issues, floods and hands and all sorts of things. So they should be arriving next week. Trust and Intuition doors will be open for 48 hours while I grab the training manuals and post them out to everyone. And then the doors are closing probably until next year, because it's 6 months training. We're up to training number 3. We're about to step into training number 3. So that will happen next week sometime as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that as well. Also, the final, last really important announcement. I just announced this week that I'm going to do live Q&A sessions every Friday on my page. I'm actually not doing that. This morning I'm like, oh, something doesn't feel right. And I was like, oh, because I don't want that structured time. I don't want that. I want to do intuitive, like I'm stepping up and doing it now, right? So I'm actually not going to hold the live Q&A weekly sessions. I'm just not. I work best intuitive. My business has been built on intuitive. My business has been built on like, I just do what I do. I do what I do, and that's like whenever I want, how I want, pricing how I want, building how I want. I've like taken courses, mentors, and then I do what the fuck I want anyway. There's always a learning, and then there's a like, yeah, but I'm gonna rebel and do it my way just because that feels better, and it's always been more successful. I do a lot of structured content, of course, in my training courses. So in Transcendence Reality Society, in the membership, there's, you know, we're turning up at this time, we're doing psychic development classes, we're doing this class, we're doing this class, we're doing that class. Like, that's what those places are for, because we're learning specific content. Here on my live stream publicly, I gotta turn up when it feels good. When I want to, right? All right, so this is about unplugging from the fear. Like, this is the other big message that I've like realized this morning that just dropped in so strongly, because even like this week, probably Wednesday, Thursday, into Friday morning, and I was so conscious, like by Friday morning I was conscious of what it was. And you know, like Wednesday, Thursday, I knew it and I could feel it, and I was so scared. I was like so scared, like inside, like I wasn't like, oh my God, but I was so scared. Like, and that was even apparent like on Sunday before the hospital appointment. And I damn well knew that because it always brings everything up, right? However, after the hospital, I still felt that scared feeling. And, you know, like days later, like Wednesday, Thursday especially, and I was like, what is this? Like scared, like I'm scared. Like, what is that? Like, it was very clear that I'm scared. And it was more of like an internal, but all over body scared. Now, that's a big part of transcendence as well, is unplugging from the fear grid, unplugging from the world stuff, like that's a big part of unplugging from the satanic grid, unplugging from, what's the other thing? Unplugging from the dark mother grid, like unplugging from all of that, yeah, and plugging into the true source code, like 100%. Because when we're in that, it's a certain vibration, and it's a certain vibration of like, you know, like fear, like it's a certain vibration, like let's be real, like the dark mother grid or the satanic grid, it's a certain vibration. And so we're unplugging from that and plugging into the true source code, right? Now, alongside that is, I was feeling scared, like it's like when I was like, what is this feeling? And it was like, I'm scared. And I was like, what am I scared about? And it was like being scared of stepping to the next level, of charging more, of honoring what my soul was actually calling and is actually calling to charge for my services, for my courses, for my business, for who I am, for not just 5 years online, but since 2005, I have lived and breathed this stuff. Like my skills are through the roof and I know it. And I've been undercharging for my services for probably a lot longer than I should have been. So when I was like shifting into this week, and even like, you know, even after I knew I was scared, right, and I knew I was shifting into the next level, it wasn't until I got off the call with my mentor this morning that I was like, because like I said on the call with her, I was like still like, she'd say the things and I would be like, yeah, but, and it was still warranted. And I got off the call and it shifted and I was so free. I was free. So if you're struggling to like make a decision, which is the decision that makes you free? Which is the decision? Because my freedom is everything to me. If I feel the slightest bit trapped, I just like go into this space of like, not just cocoon, it's like almost a despair, right? It's a despair. Like nothing will set me free but my freedom. And usually it's a self-imposed freedom. And so I was like, you know, like when I shifted into this, I was like, oh, that's where the freedom is. It was like, I can be myself now. I'm happy now. Like, do you know what I mean? And some people won't get it. Some people will be like, oh, well, it's about the money. And I'm like, it's not actually. It's about the feeling of the alignment of your soul's calling and the alignment and shifting into that truth. This is throat chakra consciousness that we're starting in Transcendence Reality Society, right? No wonder this is all coming up for me to step into the alignment of my truth, because I live this stuff as I teach it, as I breathe it. Like I live it and it's there, and then it all flows like, it's like, okay, we're doing throat chakra consciousness. And then my whole body and life just goes, whoa, hang on a second. You're not living that truth. And I'm like, well, what's happening? And I'm like, oh, that's right. I'm about to teach throat chakra consciousness. Right, got it. Well, hang on a second. Let me just recalibrate, because what? And then all this shame comes up because I'm like, wow, I actually haven't been living my truth. And even the alignment of my pricing and my courses and the way that I show up and what I'm doing in my life, I realized this morning I'm also rewriting patterns from my birth experience as a baby human into this world. And you know how we do a lot of like ancestral clearing and clear out the ancestral karmic lineage and clear your past lives and then clear your childhood and clear all this stuff? Something that's really apparent for the throat chakra consciousness is literally how you birthed into this world as a baby, as a newborn, right? Like, and if you don't know your birth story of how you actually came into the world, it's so healing to work with. So for example, I was a forceps baby, right? They used forceps to pull me out. So I've got this like deep ingrained belief that I can't do it myself, which would explain a lot of how and why for until probably maybe the last 18 months, building my business, especially online. It wasn't so apparent to me before I started building my business online, right? So that's a whole nother story in itself. But the thing that I was holding back for, especially in the first 2 years of building my business online, is I was looking for a man to do this work with me. I was looking for a man to build my business with me. I was looking for a man to do this spiritual stuff with me. Like, not that I wasn't doing it anyway, but I always just had a thought and a feeling that I would like build my business and we'd do this together. Like, you see there's some, you know, top entrepreneurs in the world and they're couples and they do this life together. Like, that's what I always thought that I would do. And so for the first 2 years of building online in my business, I was like, I want to say most of my time looking for that. Subconsciously, energetically, I was most of the time looking for that. It was almost like, yeah, I'm doing all these amazing things in my business. It's amazing. But underneath, and the undertone was, but I can't do it myself. I need to find my partner so that I can do it with him. Now, when we look at that, like, this is so deep, guys. Are you with me? Are you with me with this? This is so deep. Because when we look at my birthing process into this world, right? If you are helped out at any way, given, shape, or form, like forceps out, it creates a belief system that you can't do it on your own. You need to be forceps out. Now, the medical industry at that moment in time would have believed that as a natural birthing process, that was not necessary, as much as the doctors will tell otherwise in that moment, right? Let's be real. And what that's done for me in my life is created, like, even though I've been so independent for a long time in my life, it's created this undertone belief system that I can't be successful because I can't do it on my own. Until I'm with somebody and not doing it on my own and we do it together, then I will be successful. Fuck, talk about a block. A block from birth. This is deep layers, right? And so a big part of what we're going to dive into, like, as well as shadow work and as well as, you know, living your truth and speaking your truth and the depths of that, we're looking at where these traumas stem from. Yes, there's ancestral lineage. Yes, there's karmic lineage. Yes, there's a childhood trauma, blah, blah, blah. But a big piece of the throat chakra is the birthing process. And the reason why is because when you are coming into the full alignment of your soul, if you really think about your soul is the full alignment. Your soul as a newborn baby is like in its full peak. That's why everyone goes, oh, look at the little baby. Oh, he's so precious. Because it's like this pure soul, this pure innocence of the true nature of your soul. You haven't done anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. You're beautiful no matter how you look. Everyone's like, oh, this little... The true alignment, your soul is like so present when you're born. Do you guys see this? Right? Do you guys get the depth of this? And then as we grow up as a little child, we absorb and imprint all the adults' belief systems, social structures, blah, blah, blah around us. And so we've got like layer upon layer upon layer of societal structures and beliefs and all those pieces, right? That are like clouding us. And that's what we're looking through life as, and we actually don't know who we are, and we don't know who our soul is, and we don't know any of those pieces. Does that make sense? Do you guys see this? Do you guys see the depth of this, right? Are you seeing what I'm talking about? Yeah? And so for me personally, this week on like Wednesday, Thursday especially, I was like, I feel so scared, and I knew it because I was stepping into the next level, and I was stepping into the next level because I was doing it myself. And that was breaking the pattern that I've had since birth, that it was not safe to do it myself. I needed someone there to help pull me out, forceps, right? And how that has affected. And so now, and this is why like 2 days later, I'm like, there it is. But still, without my mentor's help this morning, I would have been still telling myself the story, yeah, but, and it was still valid. Actually, I'm choosing not to play out that story anymore. And now I'm like, oh, Because the true alignment of my soul charges this much for my courses. The true alignment of my soul charges this much to work with me personally. The true alignment of my soul runs my business like this. The true alignment of my soul lives my life like this. The true alignment of my soul trusts myself in every area of my business. The true alignment of my soul trusts the choices in my personal life. The true alignment of my soul trusts the choices in my love life. True alignment of my soul goes and lives a fucking life like this. And that true alignment of my soul is me being born again, right? Funny about that term that everybody uses so much, but actually don't fucking do it because they're still ingrained with all these like belief systems, right? And so the true alignment of your soul requires you to become the truth of who you are, just like when you're not newborn. And that newborn baby that is like, oh, look at the baby, you're so cute. Because everybody is intuitively feeling the soul of that child. It's not clouded by all society structures and systems yet. Because then what becomes apparent as that little baby grows up is all the behaviors that are learnt from the environments around them and what they're told and what they're fed and all sorts of things, even into adulthood. And that's why people goes, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what I want to do in my life. I don't know. Because we're just fed this ever since we were like this, little babies. Yeah? Isn't that right, Milo? Come here. Come here. My black and white cat with my black and white dress. So you can see how deep these systems go, right? This is the rebirth of your soul. This is the rebirth of your truth. And if, you know, like, and it's almost like when you, this is going to sound contradictory, but there's fucking truth in this if you live this wholeheartedly. At the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with you, full stop. Anyway, right? When you come into the true alignment of your soul, there's also nothing wrong with you, right? Sometimes, right? Now, I've lived this spiritual life. I teach it, I train healers in it, etc. And the biggest part of what I train is that the reason we do healing work is to become the true fullest version of ourselves. That throat chakra consciousness, right? We're living and breathing our truth. We're charging what we want in our business, not what we think we should do, but what we really want, and the true alignment of our dream life now, right? And we're also charging what we want for our one-on-one services. We're doing what the fuck we want in our personal life. We're trusting ourselves wholeheartedly and trusting our soul's vision and truth for what we want to do every day, eat every day, travel every day, do whatever we're meant to do, right? And when we come into that full alignment, there's actually nothing that needs to be healed. Sometimes in the spiritual communities, it's like, I've got this curse on me and I'm stuck in this like unhealthy, toxic relationship, but they've cursed me and they've chained me in a past life and there's this and this and this. And actually, yeah, sometimes there needs to be some work to unhook those energetic cords and nooses around your neck and the chains and the balls and the way that they took your power away and your magic. But at the end of the day, you're using that story to keep you trapped in living what you want to do now. It's not fucking 1642. It's 2022 and you're the only one holding yourself to that story and the true alignment and the version of yourself because you're too scared to not just do the thing. People are like, what should I do in my business? What should I do as a healer? What should I step up and do? I'm like, have you started doing anything? No, I haven't started doing anything. I'm like, well, do that. Do something and then your soul will show you the next step. I have not built this business on trying to plan out things. When I do that, I feel trapped, I feel caged, and I go into this state of despair and I'm paralyzed. That is me playing out they've got me by the noose of the neck and they took my magic away and blah, blah, blah. How about I just do whatever the fuck I want to do and find out how free you can be and your soul shines through and everything is perfect. Because when you're following your soul and when you're living it, this throat chakra consciousness is not just speaking your truth, it is living it. It is living your truth. The reason you're depressed is because you're not living what you say you do. You're not living the truth of what you know you can be. You're not living the joy and the truth of your heart. Heart chakra is always activated when we're coming down and we're working on the next chakra. Like if we're working on throat chakra, heart chakra is activated. If we're working on heart chakra, solar plexus is activated, right? So as we come down, the next chakra is already being activated in this, yeah? All right, let me check the comments. Is there any questions about what I've said? Because we just went really deep. We went really deep. I'm going to recap. After these comments. Okay. Well, Lena says, when do we start Transcendence? I'm ready for another round. These rounds of Transcendence are so powerful. So there's Transcendence Reality Society, TRS as we call it. That's the monthly membership. It's the inner circle. If I release a course, a meditation, another program, you get access to that automatically, okay? The inner circle gets access to everything. It's $49 a month. It stays $49 a month. The price increases to $1,111 on next Wednesday, but if you sign up at $49 a month, you don't get that increase. You stay at $49 a month, yeah? Transcendence is the 6-week course. We start that on the 8th of April. I haven't even posted in the group yet, Lena. I was too excited. I'm like, oh my God, we're doing another round. Because 10 days ago, I'm like, oh yeah, I think it was around this time I'm supposed to do another 9 months, like every 9 months. And then like, I think like the 10-day mark or something, and it's like, woof, and I was like, wow, this makes so much sense. Of course, right? Of course. So yes, Lena says different energy when you want to do something because, different energy when you do something because you want to versus when you have to. Yes, 100%. 100%. And this is where I'm just like, what am I doing? A weekly, thing, like whatever. So yeah, I'm not doing the live Q&A sessions every Friday. It's not happening. I'm just going to live stream when I want to live stream because that's when the messages come through and that's way more important. So if you want structured stuff, get in my courses because of course there's a date and a time when we turn up. Like for Transcendence, for example, we do the 6-week journey. There's, I think it's weekly live streams in Transcendence because it's really big energy. So I deeply hold you in that space as well. Transcendence Reality Society, obviously we've got the structured trainings as well because we're learning specific content. We're learning how to increase the intuition to implement and activate all these like psychic pieces that create your life and your life purpose, right? So important. All right, so let me just check these comments. Yes, consciousness is rising. It is awakening. It is. There's no other way. Once that door is opened, it cannot go back. There is no going there is going unconscious again, but you're still conscious in the unconsciousness. Yeah, unplugged a while ago. Yeah, unplugged. And I think that, yeah, it is coming back. Natalie says, yes, you do undercharge. Yes, not anymore. No wonder I've been depressed, right? And in despair and like drained and depleted. And I'm like, no more. It's just too much. And do you know, oh my God, this is the biggest, covered in goosebumps. How did I not say this? This is the biggest piece that I took away from my mentor's call this morning. Do it for me. I've been doing it for you guys. That was the biggest thing where she'd say, what she said, and then at that story it'd be like, yeah, but all these people need to be there for them. And I'm like, fuck that shit. This is what I'm doing for me. You guys either come along, you either do it or you don't do it. Like, there's plenty of other people out there. There's plenty of other courses out there. There's plenty of other mentors out there. Like, if you don't resonate with me, then, like, what are you still doing here? Like, just, do you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm doing me and my business for me. I'm doing what's in alignment for me. You either come along and you grow and expand and exponentially, like, rapidly awaken the consciousness of humanity on the fucking planet, because that's my purpose. That is what I'm here to do in all the ways, in any which shape and form that I do. Like, that. I was like, how did I forget that? Like, oh, because I was doing it for everybody else, not for me. Like, this is my purpose. And you come into the space and you activate it in your purpose. It doesn't mean that you do what I do. Doesn't mean that you have to do live streams. Doesn't mean that you have to write a book. Doesn't mean you have to do... No, you get activated in your purpose because your intuition is activated and it takes you to the next level. That's what it is. And I was like, I forgot. I don't know. I always used to do it for me. And then it was almost like I got told that was wrong or bad of what I was doing for me, because what I'm doing for me, I'm doing for humanity, but I need to do it in my way because I'm the rebel that breaks down the rules. That's what that's about. Yes. Colette says, is Colette still here? I'm curious if you're still here. Kim says, wow, so insightful. What about C-section babies? In fact, emergency C-sections. Yes, emergency C-sections. Yeah, so it's kind of like, well, forceps is like, can't do it on your own. C-section, I'm just getting this intuitively as I ask the question. There's something wrong with you. Quick, we need to take you out of your process because there's something wrong with you. You're going to die. Like, I don't know, like, do you know what I mean? Like, this kind of feeling, like, quick, the baby's in dire straits and it's going to die. We need an emergency C-section. Now, like, sometimes that's true, but the reality of the way society is being ingrained, and it's just gotten more and more and more, like, in my opinion, most of them are not that. Definitely not. Women can birth in a freaking field all by themselves. Why? Because nature does it. Nature does it. Don't get me started on that. But if we look at the sort of scenario of what it like says about that, do you know what I mean? Like, of what it says, you know, like an emergency. It's an emergency. There's something wrong. There's something wrong with you, and there's something wrong with your process. You as a divine soul, like when we think about it, nature, source, God, divine energy, divine magic grows a baby in a womb for 9 months. Without you doing a thing except maybe sleeping and eating and drinking water or whatever. Like, you're not going, okay, I need to like move this muscle and grow this, but like, you don't. It's just like breathing. We do it automatically, right? And it's nature's divine process. So if you are a baby of a C-section, what I would be working with, and this is just really streaming through and it feels really powerful, I'm covered in goosebumps, I would be working with your divine nature, your magic, your intuition, your trust in self, and knowing that you are supported and backed by spirit, and you've got this because you chose to come into this life. But all of a sudden, someone outside of you, doctor, whatever, said, there's something wrong with this process. There's something wrong with this baby. We need to make sure it doesn't die. Like, and maybe there's truth in it, right? Like I said, like, do you know what I mean? Like, there might have been a snippet of truth in their opinion. But really, in my opinion, 99% of C-sections are unnecessary. It is the doctors that are trained by men and the patriarchal system that don't fucking know anything about intuition, let alone fucking the birthing process. It's a woman's job. Don't get me started. But you can see where I'm coming from, right? So as the patriarchal system, you know, rules that women don't know what they're doing, there's something wrong with the feminine. We need to shut it down. I'm the one in charge. I'm controlling this situation because I know better than you, because I'm trained by a textbook. So you're wrong. There's something wrong with you, and I'm going to fix you. So I'd be looking at the pieces of your own self-worth, that you can do it, that you can create anything, because divine intuition and feminine flow is your true nature, that you were made for 9 to 10 months in that womb before anyone intervened, and you could have continued to do it, but up until this moment when you're hearing this, perhaps it's time to remember that truth and reactivate that. Milo agrees, don't you, boy? Oh. He's a big cat. Didn't want cuddles. Out of here. Out of here. I can do it myself. Why are you holding me? Do you get that? Yeah? So I'd be really working with that. Yeah? Okay, cool. Colette's still here. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Okay, so Colette says, would love to join. Just not at my capacity financially at the moment. So the new price kind of makes me feel left out, though I totally know you're worth it. Yeah, and so this would be the time to get in now. And this is why I'm doing a live stream and I'm not just putting it up and not telling you guys. Because in there is ways to increase your financial abundance, your income, even if you don't know how that's going to happen. We do mindset work, wealth activation codes. Like, there's so much stuff in there, and but it's up to you to do the work, right? But stepping into an environment and committing to being in a place where everyone is growing and evolving, you know, when you're around people who are doing that and growing and evolving, you grow and evolve too. Who are you listening to most of the time? Oh, I'm listening to my friends and you know, the world stuff, I'm not saying you, but you know, like what we're listening to most of the time is what we're going to create in our life, right? So that's, yeah, like I said, that's why I'm giving you guys notice so you can make that decision. But if you don't want to do that, there's heaps of free content on my website, like heaps. If you go through my website, if you go to the self-help, if you go to each chakra, there's so much stuff in there. And the free content, if you do the work, will shift you into a place where you're like, $49 a month is actually not that much. Yeah, I just wanted to say that. So I hope that C-section, emergency C-section baby, like can really help, because if you really look at that, it's like, I can't do that. I can't do that. Like, you know, it's like it's already playing out. Does that make sense? Yeah. Josephine says, I missed the whole 30 minutes, but what I was actually just thinking about this on my drive home. Fucking stay true to yourself. It's really strong at the moment. And transcendence, I know. Josephine, you said to me, and then like I saw it in my calendar. I'm like, got it. Like in my calendar, that's 9 months. Like, and it's interesting. So for those of you who don't know, transcendence, right? Which when you join Transcendence Reality Society, okay, let's give some perspective here, okay? Transcendence, the 6-week course, the early bird, open for 3 days, $397. After 3 days, right up until the 8th of April, it's $555 for the 6-week course. If you're in Transcendence Reality Society, you pay $49 a month and you get access to that. You get access to whatever I release coming up. So already, it's already been worth it. Just to give some perspective there, right? If you're in Transcendence Reality Society, every other course that I release, like you get access to the full moon ceremony, which the full moon ceremony is $47 per month. So in Transcendence Reality Society is $49. It really doesn't make logical sense, but my business and my life is not built on logic. It's built on intuition and trusting what's coming through, and I feel so much more better and in flow for getting, I'm like, where have I been? Where the fuck have I been, guys? Oh, that's right, I'm here. Loving my oracle card shelf behind you. Thank you. There's a whole top row that you can't even see on the video, I don't think. Yes. Doing an awesome job. Thanks, Natalie. Thank you. You're worth it too, caller. Exactly. $12.50 a week, cheaper than a gym membership. Such a great investment I'm in. Yes, there we go, Rita. Thank you for that. So what's that, $12.50 a week? That's not even a coffee a day, is it? Let me check. My maths is not good. I need a calculator. It's $1.80 a day, guys. $1.80 a day to be like aligning to your life purpose and figuring out what the fuck you're doing here. It's like, yeah, it's like, doesn't make logical sense. Full moon ceremonies are my favorite. Yes, absolutely worth it. Hey, Carla. Carla, I know, Transcendence. We're doing another round. Oh yes, that's what I was saying. So Transcendence is 6 weeks. It's a 6-week course, Transcendence. So that's different to TRS, right? Transcendence Reality Society, TRS. That's the membership. Get access to everything. Transcendence, I know it's confusing, but I don't care. This is what they're called. This is what comes through always, trusting your intuition. So Transcendence is a 6-week course, yeah? With Transcendence, going through that, it's like not just unplugging, like we do, you know, we're unplugging, right? But we're plugging into the true source code and we're recalibrating our life to the true source code, not the new world order, not the dark satanic grid, not the like the dark mother grid. Like that's what we're born into. That's what we're born into before our soul is clouded. Like we're born into pure soul, like we've been talking about, true soul alignment, and then we're clouded with all this stuff. We're unplugging from that in Transcendence and we're plugging into the true source code, back into the true alignment of self. But we run Transcendence every 9 months. If you guys follow me and have followed me, Transcendence, like I talk about the healing cycles, right? The healing cycles, and I'll be writing a book about it in depth because there's so much to it. But the healing cycles, and so there's like, you know, you've probably heard of like 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years. Like these are like pivotal points where, you know, like if you're trying to give up an addiction, like the 3rd day is going to be the hardest. The 3-week mark is going to be the hardest. The 3-month part is going to be the hardest. If you're dealing with a relationship breakup, the grief and the hardest part of not going back is going to be on the 3-day, 3-week, 3-month, 3-year part. Like, do you know what I mean? Like they're really significant healing cycles and timelines, right? Anyway, what I've also noticed over the years and what Spirit showed me, that there's this 9-month healing cycle. And I was like, there's a 9-month point and an 18-month point. And I'm like, well, that makes sense because, well, you know, like a woman has a baby. It's interesting. We're going to talk about babies on this live stream in the birthing process. A woman gestates a baby for 9 to 10 months. When you're gestating a new life or building a business or releasing something in your life or building a relationship or something, that first 9 to 10 months is a gestation process, right? You might not see rapid results, or it feels like it's not working, or like, why am I even doing this, right? And from the 9 to 10 month mark, you'll see signs. It'll start to birth into reality. It'll start to hit reality and be like, oh, it's working. It's, oh, like, you know what I mean? And then for the next 9 months, so like up to the 18-month mark, it's like starting to hit more and more and more into reality, right? And then at the 18-month mark is a big shift. With Transcendence, when we first ran it, it was like, wow, we need to run this every 9 months. Because in there, we're also working with specific manifestation codes, activations, and frequencies that work with this 9 to 10 month cycle. So when we jump into there, in Transcendence, I think it's important, those who have been in for a few rounds or even just the last round, to like get out our notes and actually look at what we've achieved, worked with, manifested, because this shit's real. Like, this really, it's phenomenal. It's really, really phenomenal. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. So the 9 to 10 month program, you can do Transcendence and have your coffee too. I love that. I love that. That's so awesome. You can do Transcendence and have your coffee too. I should write that on the sales page. Oh, that's the best. You're so welcome, Colette. All right, let me just check. Hi, Gloria in Canada. Okay, what else was I gonna talk about? So this is unplugging. Yeah, so I'm not doing the Q&A scheduled live stream anymore. Yeah, and I've got something else coming up that I'm releasing, and I'm not telling you about it yet. But like I said, keep an eye out, because next week I should get the hard copy training manuals for Trust Intuition. I'm so fucking excited about this, because Trust Intuition originally, like when I first built my business online, it was the first course. It was my signature program. It started off really small. That's all that was in alignment at that time. Over the years, it's built up to the certification training program. Now it's like exponentially growing. There's even a hard copy training manual. Like, this is a big file. I'm not just talking about a little booklet. I'm talking about like 14 modules and extra booklets of like all the content you need to be an intuitive healer and life purpose mentor. But life purpose activator / mentor, as alongside the live trainings and all the content that you get in there. So I'll be opening the doors of 48 hours only when I receive those training manuals. So if you missed out, now's your time to get in. We are just about to start the third module coming up in 2 weeks. So yeah. Yes. Feeling weird energy and body aches, need sleep. Yes, there's definitely been weird energy around. I'm not sure if you just jumped on or not, but if you watched the start of this live stream, we spoke about the weird energy. We spoke about the different energies coming through, and the birthing process that consciousness and humans and us are actually going through right now, because us are a different species, right? That's why you're here. All right, if you want any information about Transcendence Reality Society, Reality Reconfiguration, send me a message. I will post them on my page over the coming days, so you can always find them on my website as well. It feels good to be free. It feels good to do it for me, and it feels good to be me. I love you guys. Have a beautiful weekend. I'll see you soon.